What would you do if you were alone in a haunted mansion and suddenly felt an unseen force claw at your back? That's exactly what happened to me one terrifying day. So, I was home alone with my younger brother. We had this little dog named Stephanie, a tiny ball of energy who was completely obsessed with Cheerios. We didn't give them to her often because they weren't the healthiest treat, but she loved them more than anything. That morning, I went to the pantry to grab some Cheerios for Stephanie. She was right there beside me, practically bouncing with excitement. I grabbed the box, turned around, and just like that, she was gone. I was so confused, thinking, what the hell? Where did she go? I immediately started searching the entire house, calling her name over and over. 2 hours went by, and still no sign of her. At this point, I was really worried. In a last-ditch effort, I grabbed her favorite squeaky toy, a little pig that she adored, and squeezed it. Out of nowhere, she appeared upstairs in the hallway, right in front of my brother's room. I could see her standing there from the main floor. Relief washed over me, but I was also confused as hell. I called out to her, "Come down here. I have your Cheerios and your squeaky pig toy." But instead of coming to me, she started walking back and forth, crying like she was stuck or scared. I was baffled and getting a little scared myself. I kept urging her to come to me, but her crying only grew louder and more desperate. So, I started climbing the stairs, but the higher I went, the louder her cries became. I began to worry that she might be hurt or trapped, so I hurried up the stairs, my heart racing. When I reached the top, I suddenly felt something scratched down my back, 5 distinct fingers. I kid you not, it felt like a hand had just clawed me. I screamed in shock and bolted toward Stephanie, who was still crying in front of my brother's room. My brother heard me screaming and burst out of his room, totally freaked out, asking what was happening. I told him something had scratched me, and then, out of nowhere, we both started hearing this loud banging on the walls. We were completely terrified. Without thinking, I grabbed Stephanie, and my brother and I ran downstairs to the solarium, which had a glass door. We shut it behind us, thinking we'd be safe there. But then the banging started again, this time on the glass door itself. We could see right through it, and there was no one there. It was just us, but the banging was relentless, echoing through the room. We were both sobbing at this point, absolutely terrified. We called our mom, begging her to come home immediately. But she didn't believe us, she thought we were just imagining things or trying to prank her. Later, when things finally calmed down, my brother checked my back. Sure enough, I had 5 scratch marks running down my skin. They weren't deep, but they were definitely there. That was the only time I was ever physically attacked by that spirit. It makes me wonder if another one entered my home that day.